Okay, we're going to open up a steel challenge set from Tactrainers Airsoft targets and see what it's all about. One thing you'll notice about this set is it comes with 5 regular bases and 2 tall bases, black in color. Now with that many plate hanger bases, you have a wide variety of options of setup that you can use for other things beside the steel challenge. The plate hanger bases are universal, and they also accept other auxiliary plates which are available separately. In addition to that, they accept the impact plates that are supplied with the metric, the defensive pistol, the mini metric, and the classic target. So anytime you want, you can remove one of those impact plates, put it on a normal plate hanger base, and have another setup option. Here you can see the impact plates from the various targets hanging on the plate hanger bases. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is find the paperwork, pull out the packing slip. Okay, once we get the packing slip in hand, we're going to check off all the individual pieces. There are 28 plates that cover 17 different sizes. There are 2 tall bases, black in color, 5 tan regular bases. We have a bag with 10 screws. We have the template pieces, the directions, the setup guide, and a quick setup guide. Okay, the next thing you want to do is set up a backdrop. It's a good idea to use a flat sheet or some type of fabric and leave a little airspace behind the fabric so that when the BBs hit the fabric they lose energy and fall down rather than bouncing. The light blue color gives you the best overall contrast against your sights and also the various colors of targets that you're going to be shooting, whether it's the brown, the white, and then you also have the hardcover and the barrels. If you use a white background, as many people like to try, what will happen is the white plates and the white poppers will blend in with the background, and you can get snowblind and you won't be able to tell where one stops and the other one begins. Now that you have your backdrop set, it's time to mount your shelves. You can mount the shelves permanently to the wall with L brackets. You can also make stands to set the shelves on and have a quick setup and tear down, as many people need to do, or they use their space for other purposes besides shooting. Doesn't really matter. You want to set the shelves so that it puts the plates at about eye level with the person who's going to be shooting them the most. When you set your shelves up, it's a good idea to go ahead and pre-drill the shelves with holes at in a grid pattern every so many inches. We used 2 inches deep by 3 inches wide on this, as you can see. And all that does is give you many other options for setup when you decide to relocate your other targets. Once you pre-drill the holes, you want to go back and mark those holes with a circle around them with a Sharpie so that you can find them anytime you want at a later date. When you set up your shelving, you're going to need 9 feet of continuous shelf space, so you can lay the shelves out end to end until you reach a 9-foot section. Now that you have your shelves mounted, we're going to go ahead and lay out the template. To do the template, you're going to need a roll of masking tape, you're going to need a pencil, a Sharpie, and a carpenter square comes in handy as well if you have one. Also, you eventually will need a tape measure to lay out the location of your shooting boxes. There are 11 pieces of the template, so starting with number 1 on the very left edge of the shelf, you put it right up against the left edge and up against the front edge of the shelf. Then you continue on with each piece and carefully making sure that they're touching end to end. Continue until you run out of pieces. When you get to number 7, you're going to notice that it's a shorter piece. That's okay. And also, number 8 is a larger piece because we need to locate a hole back towards the edge of the back edge of the shelf. Now that you have your template in place, it's time to drill the holes. With a 3/32 drill bit, drill through the shelf on each numbered line. After the holes are drilled, push the template back towards the back of the shelf about 2 inches, then mark each hole using a carpenter square. Draw a line right through the hole and back about 1.5 inches. After that, check against the template and mark the appropriate number to the appropriate hole. Once you have rechecked your work and you like what you see, you can go ahead and make that permanent with a Sharpie. Now that we have our shelves set up, it's time to set up the first stage of the steel challenge. The setup guide tells us the location of the plate hangers as well as what plates to use and in what location. As you can see, All the plates are stamped with numbers. It's very easy to identify which ones are which. Now you can see on the bottom shelf that we have Accelerator set up and ready to shoot.